What kind of child were you? I guess I was really shy as a kid. I was always keeping things to myself. But I really liked sport. I always liked sport. And no matter what I was doing, I was always doing it with some kind of activity or sport activity. No matter if I was studying or playing with friends, it was always like with friends I was running and playing football. And when I was studying, I was always jumping in the place because it was helping me concentrating. And even until this day, when I'm like nervous or I'm bored or something, I'm always walking back and forth. And that's kind of the way I grew up, and it just things that stuck with me. So I guess that's the kind of child I was. What brought me into sport? I guess what brought me into sport was, as I said, I was always into sport since I was young, and I always, watched football or basketball. And even though my family isn't really sports doing family, like I'm the only one in my family, or I guess not anymore, but when I started doing sport, I was the only one in the family that did any kind of activity. And my parents never did any kind of sports, so it wasn't them really pushing me into it, but it was kind of my passion, and I always liked doing activities. And it wasn't necessarily high jump. Like I started doing a lot of other things. I started doing football and basketball and volleyball and everything with ball really. And then, one thing led to another, and I ended up in high jump. And that's what I fell in love with, and that's what I'm doing till this day. Why high jump? I guess, like from the beginning, how I got into the sports was that I was in school, in middle school, and I had the teacher that was in charge of sport. He kind of saw potential in me, and he sent me to the current coach that I have now, Anatoly. And kind of since the first day I came, it kind of clicked, it connected. And it was connection between me and the coach, me and the other athletes in the group, and also me and the sports. It's something that you don't really experience when you do other kind of team sports, like football and basketball and stuff like that. And you know that it all depends on you. So it's kind of, from one point, off-putting because you need to do all the work. On the second hand, you know that it all depends on you. And if you do the work right, the sky is the limit, and you don't depend on anyone else but in yourself. So I guess that's something I fell in love with, that I knew that I have to put the work in, and I was willing to do this and willing to commit. And it just rolled from then. What kind of connection do I think that there need to be with the coach? Well, the connection between me and my coach Anatoly is really special, because from one side, of course, this is a relationship between a coach and an athlete, so it's not really like family from one side, but it is kind of family because, it's between you and him, because you don't have a team really, and it's all between, like you come into competition, it's only you and him over there. So you have to be really connected. And yes, of course, it's not like with friends that you can share everything. It's not like with the parents that will always support you and will want you to get everything easy. He's a coach and want you to work hard and want you to improve. And that's what I want for myself too. So, and everyone can find a different relationship with the coach, and there is no right answer to what it needs to be. But I think it really needs to be something that you can trust each other, and you're really connected, and you can tell him things that bother you, and you can share. So whenever you're in a competition, there is not something that bothers you that you keep to yourself. You need to know that there is always someone you can count on. So I think you really need to be connected, and it's a special relationship. How do you feel after a loss? Well, losing is really not something that you're happy about. And it's part of sports. There is nothing you can do, but it's not something, a good part of the sport. And you're never happy when you lose. But, there are losses and there are losses. There are losses that you need to fight, and you need to be able to put all there is from you, and you need to, and you're a contender, and you should be able to win. And there are some losses that you compete with people that, they are out of your league, that they are better than you sometimes. And you need to it's two different losses, and you need to treat them as two different losses. Because one loss, if you lose to people that are in your level and you really want to compete with them and you can win and you lose, that happens sometimes. It is. And it sucks. And, that's okay, because, all right, that you lost, and there was something that went wrong. You can go back after, of course, you can't get over it, and you go over it and you figure out why you lost, and then you can try to not let it happen next time. Like if something is bothering you, fix that. If something didn't went well, fix it. So next time you come to a competition like this, you are a better version of yourself, and that's important, because otherwise you just lose and keep on going and keep losing, because you don't kind of sit over the things that bothers you, and you never improve. And if you compete against someone who is better than you, and there is not your place to win, and you just kind of take it as an experience. Because I had some losses like this. I competed against people that were better than me, and everyone competes at some point of their career in competitions like this. And the most important thing to realize, it's not really a loss, because you didn't lose. Like you lost, but not really, because you weren't there to compete yet. You were there to gain experience, to gain competitive experience, but also learn and see how the better people do it, how the better people compete, and how they jump or run or whatever your sport is. And you kind of go and learn what they do, so you can take the good part that you think that you can benefit from, and kind of use them and learn from them to see what you can do just like them next time. And that's why when one day you will be at their level, you will be able to do like them and compete like them, and hopefully win. About winning, what are the most memorable wins that you got? So there are a few memorable wins that I will remember forever. Like there are some competitions that I came in that I know that I can win, and they ended up from just being a regular win to being something special that really affected me and changed the way I competed and the way I am now. And there are three of them. And the first one I'll take is the first national under 18 competition in my country, the first one that I have ever won in my first year. It's something that stuck with me because it's a competition that I wasn't the best in. I wasn't the second one, I wasn't the third, I think, in the ranking. And I came in and I knew that I was good and I knew what I was capable of. And I didn't let go. I just stuck with the other guys, and I just kept on pushing, even though I knew that, all right, now is my personal best. I need to do better to win, and I did it. And I didn't let it stop me from all right, I did one personal best. I can do another one. I'll leave it aside. All right, I took second. That's good. It's better than what I was expected to do. So I kind of always kept pushing. And the fact that I won it and broke my personal record by, I think, 8 or 9 centimeters, it's something that stuck to me until this day, because it showed me that I can really push the most out of me at the moment of truth. And that was one win that stuck with me. The second one was the school competition. It's the first time that I really showed that I can jump in a serious level, because it's a school competition and I was the favorite one to win because I was the only one who was a professional high jumper. At the time, I had 2 meters and 5 centimeters personal best. And I think the second one over there the one who took second place did like 170. And I knew that I was supposed to win, and I started the competition at like 172. And from kind of the moment I started, I was alone, and I took it like, all right, I'm not considering it really as a competition, like more of a practice, like with the crowd and people there to push me. And I ended up jumping 2 meters and 18 centimeters, big personal record. Well, it wasn't official, but it really meant a lot to me, because it really showed me that I can really push, and that my limit is not there yet. The 205 is not my limit, because I was kind of stuck for a while at this point. So it really meant a lot to me to show me that, all right, I still have centimeters left in me. So it really allowed me to believe in myself that I can really still improve. And the third most memorable win I think that I have is my first international win, which was the European Under-20 Championship, which, I came with the best score of the competition. Like I had the leading score up until the competition, and I was kind of the favorite to win. I mean, I had people there that really kind of jumped the same level as me, but it was really memorable, except for the fact that it was my first international win. I was really nervous back then, because it was like the second competition I ever had internationally. And I was really nervous, and from the beginning, it didn't go my way. And I kind of, overcome difficulties throughout the competition, things I couldn't have expected from the beginning. And I ended up winning it, and it was amazing, and it stuck with me, and it led me to be the person that I am now. What it means for you to win. And victory for me is important for 2 reasons. One, it shows that all the hard work that I put in is being shown, and it led me to believe in myself that, all right, I'm still out there, and I'm still competing, and I'm still putting the best of myself, and it lets me faith in myself and believe that I'm a good athlete, and I'm still improving, and I'm still good. So it let me give me confidence for next and future competitions. And it also, giving me opportunities to learn and like how to react in competition, because every competition is an opportunity to learn. But when you win, it lets you learn about, if it's close competition, for example, it gives you opportunity to learn about fighting, about what to do when one person is also at the same level as you and you are head-to-head, and sometimes you lose and sometimes you win. And if you win, you had the opportunity to learn what caused you to win and what worked for you. And when you lose, you get an opportunity to learn what didn't work for you. And in both cases, you get to learn what to keep and what to change. So I think that's what really victory means for me, above for the fact that, yes, I won and it's really fun. You really shy in the beginning before you came into sport, and when you came into the sport, you became really confident. How did the sport help you do it? How did the sport change you? So yes, when I came into the sport world, I was really shy, because I didn't really have a lot of things to show for myself, because everything I did up until then wasn't really things that I did. Like school, I was good at school, but I wasn't really excellent in this. And everything that I did, sport and stuff, I wasn't really the star of the team. So I didn't really have things to show for myself, and I was always closed up to myself and was shy. And when I came into the sport world, and into the high jump world specifically, I started doing things by myself, and training hard and showing up to competitions and doing the best by myself. And you need to have confidence to compete, because if you don't have confidence, the moment that things start not going your way, you'll just give up. So it's something that really helps me gain confidence when I saw that, right, things didn't work out the way I wanted them, but I still was able to do the best of what I could have done, and even to sometimes exceed of this. So it really helped me to gain confidence and show that, all right, I'm better than what I thought. I can really push to the limit. And with every victory, I just gain more confident, and now I'm here today. In the European Under-20 Championship, it was really impressive. You had a lot of things not going your way, but you still won. What did you do in this competition? And yes, the competition didn't work the way I wanted. As I said before, I was really nervous back then, and it was the second, I think, international competition that I have ever had. And I didn't really know what to expect, in a way that it was the first time that I was supposed to compete, and it's the first time that I was in really that big of competition. So from the moment it began, like from the qualification, I was really nervous, and I barely got out of it to the final. And it took a lot of me to really be able to compete there and do the max that I could, because every time that I tried something and it didn't work out in the qualification, it really crushed me. And I didn't really know in a way that I could improve in like 2 days to come to the final. So when the final came, I was really nervous and I didn't know what's going to happen, and I didn't really expect to win. And the competition started good, but not excellent, because yes, in the first few jumps, I cleared them and it was all good and things kind of went my way. And then when it came to the really serious jumps, I don't know what happened, but things kind of went sideways, and I started to fail, and my run wasn't consistent, and my jumps didn't hit, and it kind of got me more and more nervous. And in the end, I kind of focused and kind of relaxed myself, and it was a great job by my coach that really helped me relax and realize that, all right, if you win, that's great. If you don't win, that's also great. And you gain experience, and that's the most important thing. And you will still have more competitions in the future. And that the way that I was able to kind of come back from this and win the competition. In the European Under-20 Championship, in the final jumps, in the final heights, you started skipping heights with only one jump to go. And what went through you when you were facing this situation? So in the in this competition, in the 221 height, which was really into the competition, it was only me and another competitor, and he was ahead of me because he had less failed jumps up until this point, and he was jumping before me, and I was jumping later. And in the first two jumps, we both failed, and I had only one jump left, and he had only one jump left, and he passed. And me with only one jump left, I skipped the height. And because he was jumping first, he jumped and he passed the 223. And we raised, and I skipped again, and the bar went up to 225, which would have been a new personal best for me, for both of us. And he didn't pass this height in the first attempt, and me with only one attempt left, I did. And that's how I won this competition. And when I'm looking back at it, I think what went through my head was that, all right, there is no point for me to really stay in this height, so I have to skip. But that's more of a technical thing. What really went through my head was, in the 221, I wasn't really close to passing the bar. The things didn't really go my way, and I kind of lost focus, or I don't know, but the run wasn't good, and the jumping wasn't good, and things didn't connect. And looking back at it, I don't know if I would have succeeded in the last jump of 221, if he wouldn't have skipped it, if he would have failed, and then he would have won. And I also don't think that in the 223 jump, which was my personal best at the time, but if I would have had to jump this height with one jump left, I don't think I would have made it. Because when things don't go your way, you kind of close up. And if you don't know how to deal with it and how to bounce back, it can be really hard. So I didn't really know what to do. So I'm really a competitive person. And I want to do always better than what I already have. And because I already had it, it kind of closed me to know that, all right, he's doing so well and I'm not. And I didn't think I was able to do this. But because we went to the 25, and it was like more of a, all right, I want to do better than what I was being able to do. And I took it more of a, all right, he won, I'm not going to pass it. But let's have a good attempt. It's something that I've never done before. Let's not look at it as, all right, I'm here to compete, but more of a, all right, I'm here to try a new height. So in the future, when I'm dealing with this height, I'll know what to do. So we kind of looked at it in a new way of, all right, let's kind of balance the run and balance the jump to more trying something new than trying to push as hard as we can. And it ended up being maybe the best jump that I ever did, because I passed it and it was a great jump and a crazy story. And I couldn't really believe that I did it. But I did, and that's what kind of went through my head back then. After you jump this 225 in the European Under-20 Championship, what made you scream? And I guess because I didn't really, like, I had faith that I'm able to pass this jump, to pass this height, because I knew that I came in strong, and I was in good shape. But things didn't go my way, so I kind of looked at it as, all right, I'm trying something and not really expecting to pass. So it was a big surprise that I was being able to do this. And I kind of screamed because it took everything from me to pass this bar and to be able to succeed in this jump. So I kind of screamed, one, out of relief that I'm still in it, and now I'm in the lead, and also to show that I can do this, to show that, all right, this is what I can do, this is who I am, I'm here to win. What happened to your leg after this jump? So after this jump, to understand what happened to my leg, to my right leg, I need to come back to how do I jump. I jump with the left leg, and I run, and I push from the right leg to the left leg, and I jump with the left leg. And to be able to pass any height, it's not only to have a really good jumping leg, but you also need to come to a situation that is the most optimal position to your jumping leg to jump. And this means to really put a lot of pressure on this leg. And now you do this with the second leg. And I really came with all my power and pushed with my right leg, and it kind of got, I don't know what happened there, but after this, after all the excitement went through, my leg really hurt, and I could barely step on it because I kind of pushed really hard, and it did something that it wasn't used to do. So everything kind of closed, and well, I couldn't keep on competing back then, but it's all okay now, and that's what it was. How how did they receive you when you came back home after this win? And it was amazing because I think before the competition started and before I got nervous and before things didn't went my way, before it even went to this competition, I was kind of one of the favorites to win, so or at least to compete for the win. And they knew that I was supposed to come and like get a medal. So I don't think it was a surprise in this way, but I think everyone really celebrated, and it was a big surprise because of the way that I won and the way that it ended up happening. And it was really exciting to see everyone, all the family, and the people in the track and field in Israel, kind of coming together to celebrate this win. And it really meant a lot to me that I was able to bring all the joy and the happiness to all those people. And it was more than just a regular win for us. You won a World Championship under 20 way easier. What happened there? So the World under 20 Championship was really different because I kind of took it in a different way. After winning the European under 20 Championship, I don't know what happened in this competition. It's something that never really happened to me again, but I was so confident and calm back then that I just came in to do the best that I could, that I knew meant being able to win. And I just came to enjoy myself. And yes, the competitors didn't do as good as they are in the European Championship. But I don't think it's really what made the difference there. I think it's just I competed really against myself. And because I was being able to do the best that I could, I won. And even if I had a bad day, it doesn't matter what they do, what they did. I could have lost the same. I could have lost just the same. And the fact that I came and did the best that I could, and even break my personal record, that I think what gave me the win, and that's what I'm glad about. How is it waking up being world champion? I mean, the next day it didn't really sink yet because the competition is being late. And I just finished the competition really late at night. And you know, everything that's happening after this and everyone calling you and everything, so I didn't really get much to sleep, so it didn't really hit me until a few days later. But when you finally realize what happened, you're like, it's a great feeling because you know that all the hard work that you put in really was worth it, and it really came together, and you were able to put everything in just one moment and do the best that you could. And I felt great because I knew that all the hard work that I gave all those years and all the sacrifices that I made to be able to compete like this, it was worth it, and I was being able to do the best, and that it shows me that I still have potential to improve. What are your plans to the future? My plans are really to try to improve as much as I could, and to be able to compete with in the best places in the world, with the best jumpers in the world, and really compete with them, not just in a way that, all right, I'm competing in the same competitions, but I'm not really a competitor to them, but being a really competitor and being able to challenge the first places and the medals and everything, that's what I wish for. And it's a lot of hard work and everything, but I really hope that one day I will be able to do this. What would you recommend to people that start jumping? I guess, I mean, high jump is really great. I really love this. And everyone jumps in a different way, and what works for someone might not work for someone else. So I would recommend to stick it out. There are going to be hard times, and there are going to be times that you things not going your way and you don't seem to improve. But it doesn't mean that you're not good or you hit the ceiling. It just means that, all right, things might not work for you, try a new way, or try to stick it out, or try to, I don't want to say work harder, because sometimes you work as hard as you can. But kind of keep pushing, because when something clicks, when you improve the little things, it means a lot. And when you improve one thing, everything else just connects together and you will be able to improve a lot. So just stick it out and find the things that work for you and just get as good as you can in those things, because those are the things that are good for you and works for you. And if something works, don't try to invent something new. And just enjoy the sport, because if you do, you will stay, and that's the most important thing. And I also want to thank all the people that helped me to get to this point, which really, from when I started and I had a rough time, the people that helped me get to the place that I am today, which is the athletic committee in Israel, and Maccabi Tel Aviv, and Bank Hapoalim, and the Olympic Committee that really helped me and pushed me all the way. And when I was down, they helped me get up. And when I was up, they helped me to stay there. So I want to thank them, because I wouldn't have been able to do this without them.